Hey guys, so this is my first YouTube video. Uh, it took me forever to decide to do this, not because it's something I haven't wanted to do for a while, but because it's like I thought of every reason why it wouldn't work, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. But anyway, I think the theme I want to focus on for these videos is personality type. So I don't know if you're familiar with the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs personality test online, but I'm a fan of it. I'm not like a fanatic, but I'm a fan. I have a lot to learn, but I like it. I'm an INFJ, and I was told that there might be some people online might really want to know what an INFJ is like or something, so I figured I'll show them, I guess. I'll be myself. The reason that I decided that that should be the emphasis of my YouTube videos is because it allows me to be myself. That's the truth. I kept thinking about, what I can talk about, what I can show, and it all boiled down to one thing, and that was authenticity. Like, what can I do that allows me to be myself, allows me to talk about everything I'm passionate about in my own way? And what better way to do that than literally focusing on my personality, and of course everybody else's personality and how it relates to them and what they think of my personality type. So I honestly don't know. It's hard for me to understand why anybody would be interested in what I have to say. But I'm very thankful for a friend that I have that kept pushing me. They just said, do it, like you just need to do it. Just, what do you have to lose? So I don't have anything to lose. And if it works out, then that's awesome. And if it doesn't, then that's okay too. But hopefully, some of, I get some people that follow me on Instagram coming over here. I have I think 2,000 or 3,000 followers on Instagram. And what I do on Instagram is I write. It's like a writing account. So I do mostly poetry there. I'm working on my first novel. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that at some point. But I guess when I think about, I could start by talking about how what took me so long to make this video, because I think it's really relevant. I think a lot of people will be able to kind of relate to it. And I actually think that whether you're an INFJ, you're probably going to say oh, I've been through that same type of thing. Or I think other personality types will be able to relate in certain ways too. By the way, the whole setup, it's if you guys haven't seen it before, I know some of my IG followers have seen it. It's so fake. Right now, you guys, the camera is actually propped up on a chair. Okay, so imagine you're on a cardboard box on top of a small footstool on top of a desk chair. And then you're on a tripod and there's my phone on top. So that's it's ridiculous. The bed behind there, it's there's stuff on the dresser. It's terrible. This plant's not even real. This is not even my house. This is my plant though, okay? I hope you guys can see this. I don't know if the camera. That's my plant. I love this guy. He's been with me for years. And literally I love him. I feel a strange connection to my plant. So he'll live forever. And he'll always be with me. But anyway, so about making the video, I thought about everything that could go wrong really. And I think from a personality perspective, this comes from my FE function, I guess, which would be my extroverted feeling, trying to make sure everybody's on the same page, wanting harmony in terms of emotion, and always thinking about what everybody else thinks. First I said, what if my camera's not good enough? All I have is my phone. It's over a year old now. And then I said, why would anybody want to hear what I have to talk about? And I tried to ask a bunch of people, would you want to see me do YouTube? Would you want to see me do YouTube? And like, first of all, that's anecdotal. Like, it's only going to be what the people I ask think. And second of all, like, sometimes I wish I could just do, right? Do any of you guys feel like that? Like, I overthink. And sometimes it's good because when I do, sometimes I do it really well. But not this time. I just said, hey, whatever. Just threw caution to the wind and put my camera up. I don't have anything to read. I don't have any type of structure, which is terrifying for me. But yeah, I just thought of anything that could go wrong. I said, like, well, what kind of camera would they want? What kind of background would they want? What should I be wearing? Each of these thoughts were like a day or two of me working through them and then realizing in the end, like, it doesn't matter. I need to just do a video. So today you got me, it's like I got back from the grocery store and I still have my Corona clothes on because we're in the COVID-19 pandemic phase of life right now. And yeah, so this is before my COVID shower, before I go to the shower and wash the COVID off. So this is just me being me. And I think the desire to figure out what everybody else, what they'll be okay with is definitely a very extroverted feeling type function. And I think maybe like being an INFJ, the fact that my extroverted feeling is my auxiliary function, I think is what you call it. Forgive me if that's wrong, but it's basically, it's higher than my introverted thinking. It's higher. It's high. It's high up on the list. So I think that maybe that's why, like, I'm so, before I even go into like, this is what I want to do, I think like, what would everybody else want? And that's like, what would everybody else like? What would they approve of? And so sometimes I get stuck in this cycle where I don't ever actually create the thing that I inside want to because I worry what everybody else will think, and I try to do this balancing act. So I decided just to do it. I took my advice from my ENFP friend. I love ENFPs, by the way. I love ENFPs. If you're an ENFP, please leave me a comment in the comment section. It's weird, like, but I just always get along with ENFPs. Like, yeah, so anyway. Yeah, so she said, just do it. And I said, that's easy for you to say. But here I am. So I guess, like, the thing is, this is a good time to start a YouTube channel, I think, if you're going to do it. It's a good time to start anything new. It's almost like New Year's, but for real. It's like, every New Year's, people come up with resolutions, and they say, like, you know, it's a new year, new me. I want to make these changes, and they have like these aspirational goals that they reach for, and they use the new year as an excuse, a good excuse, to make life changes, to say, like, this is the line in the sand. Today it's going to be different. I think that that fate has given us all a real life reason in the coronavirus. We've all been stuck inside. Well, most of us have been stuck inside. If not, then we've been, regardless of what our life situation is, it's transformed, right? We've been asked to social distance. We've spent more time here and less time out there. A lot of us, I've noticed, have started reassessing our passions, our life trajectory, a lot of things. Like, this is what happens when you have time to reflect. Take it from an introvert who does this all the time anyway. The more time you have to reflect, you start rethinking your life. You say, like, is this really the direction I want to go in? And I think this gives us a real good reason. Uncontrollables. This gives us a real good reason to push the reset button. to assess whether our life is going in the right direction. If it is, awesome, good for you. That's you're like the 1%. If it's not, I think there's a change that most of us can make. Whatever it is for us, like there's usually a change, and this gives us a chance to press reset, make that change, and go for it. So that's what I'm doing. Spend a lot of time writing. That's my passion, and I'm restarting my career path and stuff too, which maybe I'll talk about a little bit later. But that's hard and it's scary, and it's going to mean making a lot less money, and it's going to mean a lot of things. But hopefully, in the end, it means a more fulfilling life. So, yeah. So yeah, the funny thing about the coronavirus pandemic, because there's not very much funny about a deadly virus spreading, is that I think this the real life death is tragic. And actually, I have an uncle who was on a ventilator. He survived, thank God. Thank God. And I know a few people who have had coronavirus, but the symbolic part of that, like this symbolically, maybe some parts of our lives do need to die, so they can be reborn. So I think the literal death is terrible, but I think symbolically, hopefully some of the toxic part of our lives will die a quick death, and hopefully we come out of this and we re-emerge stronger than ever, or at least on a path to strength. For me, I had a real, I guess I had an experience last year, which was like the most challenging year of my life, where felt like I was kind of reborn, and it was out of pain, and it was out of being at my lowest point, both physically due to an injury, and emotionally due to a lot of stuff that I went through. Lost a lot last year, like everything from my business to my friends. I kind of went like where everybody else is now, like turned inside. I feel like I was there last year, and I know what can come of it. Like right now, I'm stronger mentally and emotionally. Like I can say that I feel like I am stronger than I've ever been. I have a long way to go, but I feel like for the first time probably in my life, I'm on the right path. And I hope that's what happens with coronavirus for people. Like our flaws are going to be exposed, and most of them probably already have been. You've probably noticed it. If you feel vulnerable, if you feel exposed, if you feel unstable, if you feel off, okay, good. Use that as an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself, why are you feeling like that? And what that can mean for you in terms of where you want to move your life. Yeah. I know that you can, because last year that's what happened to me. So hopefully we all use coronavirus as a real new year, and we start the first day of the rest of our lives after this. Let me know if you guys, if this is interesting to you. I guess there I go with my feet, like always. But let me know if this is at all interesting. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. Let me know if you want to hear some of my writing. Let me know if, I figure this is the thing, like, I feel like my strength is that I can talk about anything deep. Like, if I can go into any topic deeply, like, that's one of the things that I can do. So, I guess what I can do is I can just talk about topics. Each time I'll pick something, whether it be something that you guys recommend or something that's been on my mind based on something that's happened to me recently. Just like this time's coronavirus, and I'll talk about it. And yeah, from an INFJ perspective. All right, guys. I still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking the whole time, like, why is anybody gonna watch this? Is anybody gonna watch this? But anybody that has watched it and sat through it, thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's for real. And more goodness to come. Hopefully it gets better and better each time. Thank you.